Imagine a battle that lasted only a few days but changed the course of World War II forever. A battle where intelligence, courage, and a little bit of luck allowed the United States to defeat one of the most powerful naval forces the world had ever seen. Welcome to Xfinity Evolution, where history comes alive and legends are reborn. In June 1942, the Pacific Ocean became the stage for a confrontation that would determine the future of the war. This was the Battle of Midway, a victory that many historians consider the turning point of the Pacific Campaign. Just 6 months earlier, the United States had suffered a devastating blow at Pearl Harbor. The surprise attack by Imperial Japan shocked the nation and severely damaged the U.S. Pacific Fleet. Japan appeared unstoppable. Its navy had conquered vast territories across Asia and the Pacific, while Allied forces struggled to slow its rapid advance. But beneath the surface, American military leaders were preparing a bold response. They knew that matching Japan ship for ship was impossible. Instead, they relied on something far more valuable: information. A team of brilliant codebreakers stationed in Hawaii worked day and night to crack Japan's secret naval communications. Led by Commander Joseph Rockefort, they uncovered evidence that Japan's next major target was a place identified only as AF. To confirm their theory, American forces sent an uncoded message claiming that Midway Island was experiencing a shortage of fresh water. Shortly afterward, Japanese communications reported that AF was indeed running out of water. The deception worked perfectly. American commanders now knew exactly where Japan planned to strike. Midway Island was tiny, isolated, and seemingly insignificant. Yet its location made it one of the most strategically important outposts in the Pacific. If Japan captured Midway, it could threaten Hawaii once again and extend its defensive perimeter deep into the ocean. Admiral Chester W. Nimitz understood that stopping Japan here was essential. Instead of waiting for the attack, Nimitz secretly positioned 3 American aircraft carriers northeast of Midway. Hidden from Japanese reconnaissance, the carriers USS Enterprise, USS Hornet, and the hastily repaired USS Yorktown waited patiently. Every sailor aboard knew they were about to face an enemy with greater numbers and more combat experience. On the morning of June 4, 1942, Japanese aircraft launched their assault on Midway. Bombs exploded across the island as American defenders fought desperately to keep their airfields operational. Although the damage was significant, Midway remained capable of launching aircraft. That single fact would prove critical. American pilots took off in wave after wave to attack the Japanese fleet. Many flew outdated aircraft. Some had little combat experience. They faced overwhelming odds against highly trained Japanese fighter pilots. Squadron after squadron suffered devastating losses, yet they continued pressing their attacks with extraordinary courage. These early attacks achieved little direct damage, but they accomplished something even more important. Japanese fighter aircraft were pulled down to low altitude to intercept the incoming American bombers. At the same time, Japanese carriers were busy refueling and rearming aircraft for another strike, leaving their flight decks crowded with fuel lines, bombs, and torpedoes. Then came the moment that changed history. Shortly after 10:20 in the morning, American dive bombers from USS Enterprise and USS Yorktown arrived almost simultaneously over the unsuspecting Japanese fleet. For just a few extraordinary minutes, everything aligned in America's favor. The skies above the carriers were nearly undefended, and the Japanese ships were at their most vulnerable. The dive bombers attacked with astonishing precision. Within minutes, 3 Japanese aircraft carriers, Akagi, Kaga, and Soryu, were engulfed in flames. Massive explosions tore through their hangars as fuel and ammunition ignited. The pride of Japan's navy was transformed into burning wrecks before commanders could react. Only one Japanese carrier, Hiryu, remained operational. Refusing to surrender, its crews launched a determined counterattack. Japanese aircraft found the USS Yorktown and struck it repeatedly, leaving the carrier heavily damaged. For a brief moment, it seemed the battle might still swing back in Japan's favor. However, American reconnaissance aircraft quickly located Hiryu. Later that afternoon, another wave of dive bombers attacked. Their bombs found their target, setting the final Japanese carrier ablaze. By the end of the day, all 4 Japanese fleet carriers that had participated in the attack on Pearl Harbor were either sinking or beyond repair. The cost of victory was high. Hundreds of American servicemen lost their lives, and USS Yorktown eventually sank after further attacks by a Japanese submarine. Yet compared with Japan's losses, the outcome was decisive. Japan lost 4 irreplaceable aircraft carriers, hundreds of experienced naval aviators, and many of its most skilled maintenance crews. The Battle of Midway was far more than a tactical success. It permanently shifted the balance of power in the Pacific. Until Midway, Japan had controlled the initiative, choosing where and when to attack. After Midway, that advantage belonged to the United States. American industry rapidly produced new ships, aircraft, and trained personnel at a pace Japan simply could not match. The months that followed proved just how important this victory had been. American forces soon launched the Guadalcanal campaign, beginning a relentless island-hopping strategy that gradually pushed Japanese forces back across the Pacific. Historians continue to debate which battle was the single most important of World War II, but few disagree about Midway's significance. Without this victory, the Pacific War could have lasted much longer, with far greater casualties and an uncertain outcome. Midway demonstrated that superior planning, intelligence. Today, the Battle of Midway remains one of history's greatest examples of how preparation can change destiny. It was not won by overwhelming numbers alone. It was won by codebreakers who uncovered a secret, commanders who trusted intelligence, pilots who flew into impossible odds, and sailors who refused to give up even when defeat seemed certain. The Battle of Midway was more than America's greatest naval victory. It was the moment the tide of the Pacific War turned forever, proving that even in humanity's darkest conflicts, courage and strategy can reshape the course of history. If you want to understand how history is unfolding before our eyes, don't miss what comes next. Revisit Xfinity Evolution for deeper insights and powerful stories. Stay informed, stay curious, and join us again on Xfinity Evolution, where the world's biggest events come into focus.